somebody like that. Not my directors or my supervisors, though. They were pretty cool. But just want somebody who's been working there a lot longer than I have.
Yeah. That's one thing I forgot. No wonder it was hitting you so bad. Like, I'm like, yeah, I don't work in an office job, but I work in I work retail, so I go through some of the stuff they're going through. Yeah, I completely forgot you worked in the college office.
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
This present is empty, except the bag.
Oh, yeah. I emptied it out. Alright, ready.
Okay, well, we're rolling, so got a little bit of that. Anyway, guys, that was our episode. We turned out to be talking about it the whole time and never clicked record. Ooh, wouldn't that be some shit? Except that's happened twice.
Okay, I forgot when.
It hasn't happened on Animazing.
Oh, okay.
No, like Danny and the Electric Fall. The only time Animazing had like cursed episodes was the Golden Time episodes.
Oh.
There was always shit that went horrifically wrong. Me and Ben did like an amazing first episode of that, and
I remember you told me about the cursed episode.
We did an amazing first episode on that, and it was amazing, and it was like really good. But then my dumbass for some reason had like a brain fart and I clicked don't save and I couldn't retrieve it back. I was like looking everywhere in the computer because I know they always backlog this stuff just in case, but I couldn't find the backlog.
Oh.
No matter how hard I tried. And we did it again like a week after and it just wasn't as good. And then even though I was going to post it anyway, that's when my laptop
died?
No, that's when my laptop and all my equipment got like taken in my work and they destroyed it.
Oh, by the cleaning. I remember you told me about it when that happened as well.
Yeah, I'm all like, this fucking Golden Time episode's cursed. That's why I don't want to talk about like ever redoing it again, because I'm afraid what will happen if like we redo it. Like we get Ben back and we redo the entire episode and it's just like, I'm afraid what's gonna happen, I'm sorry. I don't want to put it... I want to fucking die because apparently these are getting progressively worse the more we try to do them.
I'll probably just show up for this next Golden Time episode just to change the chemistry a little bit.
Yeah, no, I want you there. Yeah, the reason
because I know the 2 times like when we asked me first, like I usually got busy at work and everything, so it usually was just you and Ben.
Yeah. One we specifically did one. We specifically did an episode that. I forgot what the thinking was. It was just something Ben really wanted to do. I know when it happened the first time, it was like you couldn't make it, and then the second time it was the same deal, even though we had tried to get you back for it. Yeah, no, I want us back for that. Maybe we can do that when we're all together. And
oh, Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Make it the third coming of Golden Time.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'll get cracking down to it immediately.
And then we'll just all die in San Jose. You know, like something terrible's gonna happen the moment we the moment we finish up the episode. My computer will not only crash, but it will get stolen and then thrown out a window, and then a meteor will just hit all 3 of us simultaneously. Yeah. And it will only do damage to the hotel room and nowhere else.
Oh my god, man.
That is how bad. That is how cursed this episode's gonna be.
Yeah, I just warn you. There will be a drinking bar at the welcoming party. So mind your liver.
God. Yeah, no. I'm only gonna drink a little bit. Not a lot. I had like 2. I finally tried soju.
Ooh.
That is.
Ooh.
I surprised.
The cocktail or the regular one?
It was just like regular bottled soju.
Okay.
Yeah. No. I hear the cocktails are like, are you fucking crazy?
What gets you about the cocktails is like not only the alcoholic content, but it just goes down like soda. Because it's really sweet.
It's so good. Yeah. Like again, I was taking them in shots, but I'm like, man. All it's going to take is one guy grabbing this, thinking it's soda, going down on it, and then just not remembering what happened that day. No, it didn't hit me that bad. Me and my friend were thinking, I was just a little dizzy, and in the morning the next day I had work, and I was like sleepier than usual, so I was pretty hungover. but it wasn't bad. But my friend's like, I think if you had a third one, that would have been it. Because I only had 2 shots. I only wanted 2 shots because I heard how strong it was, and it wasn't until the morning I'm like, oh no, this isn't normal.
Yeah, they usually sold just like from 14 to 17% alcohol.
Yeah.
No, dude, I think I remember with Manny and everything as well, like Thanksgiving, when we had our Friendsgiving, like we chugged 2 bottles each.
Of soju?
Yeah, we chugged one at the beginning of the party, and then we chugged one in the middle just because it was like, you know, we had leftovers. We're like, dang, well, this would be bad if we have it over. But like, I was like, like at that point, we're good. It just tastes like medicine rather than like than soda.
Yeah, that's true.
And we're like, no regrets. We're kind of buzzed anyway, so no rational thinking went by there.
Yeah, and then like a few, like an hour before, we were at Yard House in Burbank, and I tried like my friend. It was like a weird drink where you put it in where you mix 2 drinks together and the color changes, and they really play it up. They're just it's nothing that involves me having to like go into the files and delete some of the older episodes I have in here, because I've had to do that before on the old one. But this one has a lot. Yeah. I mean, the cloud's full, but I don't give a fuck about the cloud. I care about what this thing can hold, and this thing can hold a lot. I mean, I paid $1,600 for this piece of shit, so you gotta work. I'm still paying it off. The final payment is like next week. Hey! So yay! I still have to pay off my headphones, but at least I know I had, you know,
Is this all on credit?
Yeah, this is all on credit.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna have amazing credit though.
I'm still struggling to get approved for credit cards.
I know.
It's such a long battle just getting approved for your first one.
Yeah.
Because I know I want to start right now while it's possible for me to pay off something still before I get too many responsibilities.
Yeah. Yeah. Like with me, I just learned that the best way to own a credit card is to pretend you don't have a credit card until you need it.
No, cause from like the mentoring that I'm receiving right now and everything, the couple I'm getting, like they pretty much told me like just treat your credit card like a debit card. Like any purchase you make there, if you know you can pay it off immediately, just so you don't have to worry about the end of the month expenses and everything. Yeah. And then pretty much like other than that, just like if you need it for an emergency, just make sure it's something that you can pay off within that monthly timeline.
Yeah, and usually like not the estimated payment, but like the down payment, I guess. Yeah. Usually what they ask you to pay every month is usually around $25 to $30 anyway. But you know that takes forever. So let's just say I bought a $1,600 computer. My payments are usually around $200 to $300. And then I realized, oh fuck, that really killed my bank account. So now it's only like $100 a month. So like it went down fairly quickly, and yeah, the final payment's next week. So yeah, and then after that I'll be able to finally pay off my headphones, and then I'll be completely clear. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it now, because my whole plan was, I'm gonna buy a PS4, and it's like, yeah, well apparently the new consoles are coming, so fuck you, consumerism. Hey, get a PS4. Genshin Impact's on the way. I don't play that weird stuff, even though I should. No, it's like literally the company that made the game. They're making the first console game ever. It's pretty much like it goes inspired by Breath of the Wild. So I was like, it'd be something that'd be up your alley. Oh, I'll have to look it up then. I'm a little burned right now because Wolfenstein Youngblood came out. Yeah, dude, I knew this was gonna be coming up eventually. Yeah. Oh, so you heard about it, right? Yes. All the terrible shit. Oh god, I feel like all those people when they saw like the new XCOM game that wasn't like a top-down game, where it was like a first-person shooter. Oh, the old school one. Yeah, the one where it was like I think 1930 or something. 1980, yeah. Yeah, that one was like, everyone was like, betrayal! But man, I felt like that when I was playing Wolfenstein. I'm like, Wolfenstein Youngblood? Yeah, I'm like, you guys try to turn a story-based linear shooter into an RPG game, except you have a terrible. First of all, you have terrible AIs, including your sister if you play by yourself. Number two,
Oh
the
god,
enemies are.
I thought you were like going directly attacking the creator of the games, like yeah, terrible, like AI, including your sister. I was like,
Your
oh,
sister's
damn.
a bad AI. Boom.
I was like, I thought you were going somewhere with that.
No, and then it's like, then you have then you have bullet sponge enemies. That's all I have to say. Bullet sponge. And I think the biggest problem, and then we'll go to the review right after this, the biggest problem is the story and the characters suck. And that's something Wolfenstein never had a problem with. Is okay, so BJ's gone in the game, but then when he shows up, it's only for like a few minutes, and then the game's over. And then the sisters are like, so the game sets itself in like in the 1980s.
Yeah.
But they realize that if we set the game in the 1980s, we're gonna have to create like new assets and different and like make a more unique world, and we don't really have time for that. So let's just make the two main characters the Ninja Turtles, where they're always like dude or like laughing. Like literally, when you have two female girls and they laugh like surfer dudes, there's a problem in your game. Well, literally, when they laugh, they're like, they're like Beavis and Butthead. There you go. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, I could go on. I could really go on. So far, I'm just gonna say this: fuck that game, and Fire Emblem Three Houses is one of my favorite Fire Emblem games.
Dude, that's what I heard. Because Josh pretty much was like going crazy because like he was in the Philippines at the time, but when they were releasing the premium packages.
Yeah.
So what Josh was telling us over there, and this might explain what happened with Rui and everything. Internet sucks in the Philippines. Like broadband over there's like you don't have much to work with like that at all. Like even when it comes to like downloading or uploading anything. So which gave me a hunch as to like why Rui disappeared for a couple months.
Yeah. Yeah, and also it was like family stuff. It just kind of sucks because I was around the time her and Noble broke up, so you can kind of see that something happened to her.
Yeah.
And then the other party just didn't really know how to handle it.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough goss. Enough hot goss. Let's go to our review for Netflix's and Sanrio, right? Like, this is a Sanrio character.
Yep. And then, oh my god, I'm so glad I watched the right one, because when I saw the Netflix adaptation, I was like, wait, did Daddy tell me to watch the Netflix one or not to? It's like, oh well.
No, it needs to be the Netflix one because we'll get to it in a bit. So anyway, guys, we are going to be talking about Netflix's show based off of Sanrio's most recent character, aggretsuko. Yes, I know you have an update, but you gotta wait. Oops.
Ooh.
Sorry, guys. This is like, thankfully it's one of the shortest ones too.
I know.
So you saw this in sub, right?
Yes.
So like, do you know anything about the dub?
Not much.
Oh, so like one of the main difference with this is in the dub, in the sub, it's the voice actress doing both of the voices.
Yeah.
And then in the dub, it is it's Erica Mendes, the voice of like Ryuku from the dub for Kill la Kill and like a ton of other things. Oh, she's gone.
I remember her. I remember her voice.
Yeah. And she just does the voice for Retsuko, but everything else is like, everything else is an actual male like doing the
death metal
voice.
singer?
Yeah, an actual like male doing the death metal voice. I wonder if it is an actual like singer. I mean, we have Josh Hutcherson in Ultraman, so I'm pretty sure we are kind of getting to that point where they're like, fuck it, be in this anime show.
Ah, dude, I know, man. I'm just waiting for the day. I'm just waiting for the day when they get like when they get people like Robert Downey Jr. and everybody inside there again.
Yeah.
Especially for that Marvel animated series.
I know, it's funny how they haven't done that. That was all like the typical American voice actors in those shows. They do. Man, I'm so mad that it's not them in the video game coming out next year.
Oh man, and it's funny, man, because like in the stuff for the Marvel animated series, the one that they released in Japan. It's like it's Dio's voice actor who's doing Deadpool's voice, so it's kind of like, it's perfect.
That is painfully perfect. Oh god. Especially since like when he's not playing Dio, he plays a lot of troll characters.
Yes,
like,
he does.
like he's Excalibur. That was one thing I didn't know. He's also, I forget that clown guy from ReZero.
Oh, the Count.
Yeah, but that was him too. Anyway, we are talking about the 28. I thought it was 2017. Apparently, the gap was smaller than I thought.
2018.
Yeah, it was the 2018 anime. Yes, it's an anime. Based off of Sanrio, the creators of Hello Kitty. I gotta get that right because I always 9 out of 10 times I always say Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty.
Yeah, there's been enough of those already. I think even Sanrio did like a design for one because they're like, oh, it's that easy, isn't it? Whatever. We all know that Hello Kitty is just a girl is just a furry.
That's true.
I know. It's funny because people are like, well, of course she's a furry. She's an anthropomorphic cat. No, she's not. She's a little girl in a cat costume. She's a furry.
Yep. What you really think about it?
No, that's what the actual creator said.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah, they refer to her as like a cat, and it's like, no, she's not a cat. She's a little girl. She's a British little girl in a cat suit. I'm like, why are you just telling us that now?
I feel a little bit slightly more uncomfortable, but okay.
Yep. Especially since like Hello Kitty is so hot in Japan that like. Mm-hmm. They have to treat her like an idol, like she can't have a boyfriend, and when she did have a boyfriend, it actually did anger people.
Oh, dude. No, yeah, dude, idol tugs are kind of the ones that scare me the most, like Ben.
What? Ben's all up in the idols now?
Remember, he's always been.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, he's an idol otaku.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Why do you think Ben and I usually clash a lot?
Yeah.
But in the playful manner.
Yeah, not in a hateful manner. I mean, we're gonna be in a car for 3 to 4 hours.
You see me pulling that up?
There's a reason I took you. There's a reason I wanted you to come here, Ben, and you just like dump him on the side of the road and like start burying him alive. I'm all like, I have nothing to do with here. I'm just gonna sleep.
Oh god, they did to him what they did to Keanu Reeves in that one movie Knock Knock. I just buried him in the desert while like you just see a phone like just uploading pictures of him doing stuff.
What a fucking movie, man.
I hate that movie though.
I hate that movie so much.
I hated that movie only because I felt it was a personal attack against Keanu and I was like, no, can't do this to this guy.
Man, that is funny how like people, there are people like, oh man, Keanu's such a nice guy, and it's like, yeah, well watch Knock Knock where they make him an asshole.
I know.
And then like in the end you just feel bad for him.
I know, dude, that movie was just like, oh, this is like an NTR. This is NTR.
But then the movie had to like ruin itself when they're like, oh no, the girls were actually like 18 and 26.
What?
Yeah, that was the whole thing. They're like, oh, we're flight attendants, and I'm turning like 20 tomorrow. It's like, so they were of age. I know the photos they had him doing was sick, but he can easily talk his way out of it. He's all like, I had sex with these 2 girls. I'm sorry, sweetie. And I'm talking about the police because this is some police shit that like, you know, they're saying he's in trouble with now. It's like, no, those girls, they were of age, I had sex with them. They make me believe they were underage, and then they started tormenting me. So aren't I a victim in all this, except for the fact that I'm gonna lose my family and my reputation? Yeah, no, you're good.
Dude, and that's the hard part as well, man, because, you know, especially when it comes to issues like that as well. Yeah, I'm getting a little carried away, but I'm gonna end this right now.
Yeah, we gotta get back to it. The girls goes like, hello. Okay.
I know, man, dude, but yeah, dude, that movie was just kind of like just. It was so just like literally made me feel like aggretsuko.
Yeah. It was an icky movie, and that's kind of Eli Roth for you, which is why it is so creepy that 1, he did a kids movie last year, and 2, it was actually pretty good. It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. It was The House with the Clock in Its Walls.
Oh.
That was an Eli Roth movie, and they did everything in their power to make sure he didn't pop up in the marketing. Only in interviews. They're like, oh, we're here with the director. And I remember there was one video they released. They're like, oh, we're here with the director, Eli Roth. And everyone in the comments was like, what the fuck? Anyway, back to aggretsuko. It's a 2018 anime created by Netflix, or at least funded by Netflix.
An up-and-coming anime studio.
Yeah.
At this point.
They really are. I mean, they're giving money to everyone. I like how Funimation is like, oh, we're funding our own anime, and I'm looking at the anime, and it's like, this is basically that Will Smith movie with the orc, except like it's a guy with a fairy.
Oh, which one?
I forget what I'll look it up in a bit, but I forget what it's called. But yeah, it's like a Funimation anime they premiered at Comic-Con. I'll look for it while we're talking about it.
Oh, damn, Comic-Con. I haven't been there since Nesta took me there.
You guys went?
Yeah, 1 year, because like I traded since 1 year I traded Nestor to AX, because well, that was his first AX ever, so I paid for his ticket and everything. And that's when we finally unleashed the inner weeb inside of him.
Yeah, that's true.
And then following up, like Nestor decided to treat me to Comic-Con since I've never been there, and that was pretty much our deal. Like, alright, I'll go to Comic-Con with you, and you go to AX with me.
Wait, was it the one in LA or San Diego?
LA.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, this was the San Diego one. Copcraft. That's what it
Ooh!
is. Yeah. That one I think Funimation flat out helped make. And I'm like, this is that Will Smith movie. That's what it
I
is.
love Copcraft.
It's out already?
Yeah, well, duh, we'll sub.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's out this season.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch it then. I'll watch it. So anyway, I have something to watch after I finish Thunderbolt Fantasy.
It's pretty good. You should watch it.
All right. Anyway, I'm sorry, sorry, aggretsuko. Let's get down to it. So it is a 2018 anime made by the up-and-coming anime studio, Netflix. I forget what the actual anime studio behind it is, but it's one of the ones similar to Jifters. They were made specifically for this anime, to get this anime done. Then you of course have like, sorry, I don't know where I was going after that. So, it focuses on a red panda, one of my favorite like creatures in the world.
Oh, she's a panda?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought because of the eye thing she was like a Shiba Inu or something.
Yeah, no, well a lot of people thought she was like a fox, but like one of the giveaways is a lot of the names of these characters are puns, and apparently like the fact that her name is Retsuko links her directly to the fact that it's a red panda.
Oh!
Similar to how like Haida's a hyena.
Yep.
His name's Haida. And Fenico is a Fenicox.
Yep, no, that one was like immediately given already.
Yeah. Yeah, and then of course you have some that are like, maybe Ton is pig in Japanese, but I have a feeling Ton was just like a joke on he's fat.
Yeah, and usually because like I forgot what it was, but like you know when you get like chashu pork and everything, it's like something like it was something with a teeth. It was something referred to.
Mm-hmm.
But
I know what you're talking about.
But it's like I think it's something somewhat close to like chashu pork.
Yeah.
So it's like referring to the side of it, and so I can see where the connections for that one.
Yeah. Like most of these characters to a level are like puns of names, except of course if you have the same animal coming in, then their name's gonna be like an actual Japanese name that isn't a pun. Like Retsuko's boyfriend by the end of the series is like a regular name.
Risasuke?
Yeah. Well, wait, no, that does sound like a pun.
Yes, and the thing that made me laugh is that it had to be Risasuke. It could not be something else.
What does it translate to?
No, I'm just like saying when I heard that, I was like, oh, really, Risasuke. Sasuke, the most easily easily glorified name of my elementary and high school life.
Yeah, that's true. But it surprisingly, back in 2016, Japan released their own anime. It's a 100 episode anime of little 1 minute vignettes of just like Retsuko and all these other anthropomorphic animals just like in the office. But a lot of those are just like jokes. They
yeah.
Joke after joke. and eventually when Sanrio opted to make another anime, whoever they put in charge is like, okay, so we can do the same thing, or we can really hit people in the gut.
No, yeah, because a lot of these, because especially like what this show really hits about as well, and like this is like some issues like that the anime man has brought out a lot as well, and you can definitely see it a lot online and everything. It's pretty much like the work culture over in Japan and everything as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just because if anything, when you work like especially like business sides and everything, I forgot what it was, but it was pretty much posted in one of the J-list articles and everything. But like over there, like work. One of the things that they were talking about pretty much when it came to work culture over there is like it's a little bit more different in Japan compared to the United States and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like here in the US, it's pretty much based more on like, since we're like a free market economy and everything, we're pretty much based more on like trying to be more mobile and everything. Like you have to have good, you have to pretty much be an equal footing while also trying to respect your like whoever's on top of you as well and everything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a weird mishmash of like, all right, you got to be close but not too close and everything, because you still got to respect like the power barrier.
Yeah.
Whereas like in Japan, again, it's a hierarchical society, which is why over there like pretty much like this is why insults differ in Japan compared to the United States. Where like in the US, it's kind of like fuck you, or like you're shit and everything. In Japan, it's more like nah, I'm gonna bring you down to my level just to show you how much of a badass I am.
Yeah. Oh, so that explains a lot of shonen anime.
So that's what people refer to as like and I think the anime man even explains this when people say like teme or anything like that as well. You're not honoring them anymore, especially if you're saying that to somebody who's supposed to be of high status. If you say you're referring to them like, no, you're on my level. Like you don't deserve any honor from me at all.
Yeah.
And I remember when my Japanese teacher told me about it, I was like, oh, that makes sense. now a lot of these shows make a lot more sense now. Why that would be insulting.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna close one of the windows just in case.
But go for it, yeah. And I remember one of the things that like, especially in Cells at Work. If you ever read the other one that the guy made, Cells at Work Black, one of the topics that actually comes off is like the body that this is supposed to be representing is actually a middle-aged Japanese man who's a victim of one of these like stressful work lives and everything. Who they're a salary man, but they can't really complain about it because this is a job that they worked for and everything, and all that stresses that comes to it as well. So it's like really, it's one of the issues that like a lot of people try to raise up over there as well.
Yeah.
Because it's just the way the culture is. It's a hierarchical society. It's more of a I can't pronounce it. Hierarchical society.
Yeah.
Pyramid.
Yeah, it's a pyramid scheme. But yeah, and that's what the show does focus on. It focuses specifically on a young red panda who, at the beginning of the series, not necessarily throughout the series, but at the beginning of the series focuses on how she's super excited to enter her job life and
when they graduated.
Yeah,
and she went to the job.
Yeah, and super enthusiastic, and then we skip to what is possibly maybe like a year or so into the job or something, and she is just like, man, I have a boss who is a literal sexist pig. There's what I think is a ferret, just like a weasel, a weasel, or like a ferret, who's like kissing up to him and like bullying her whenever the pig does, Mr. Tom does. And then of course,
that guy, the ferret, whatever the hell he is, that guy always give you the creeps.
Yeah, I thought he was a lemur, and I'm like, why the fuck would he be a lemur? No, he's gotta be like a weasel. It's gotta be like very. It's gotta be very, very specific to the, to the type of animal he is.
Yep.
And then like again, you have a fennec fox, and she's very like obsessive. Like the fact how she hates one of the coworkers in the office, but she like
Tsunoda.
Yeah, but she stalks her on social media to get dirt.
Yeah.
But like she stalks it for so long that she realizes there's like a pattern to the post, where it's all like thigh latte selfie, thigh latte selfie, thigh latte. No, sorry, it's like latte selfie, latte selfie, latte selfie, thigh pic.
And then after a while, she's like, but you notice this stuff. Like a couple days ago, she posted a thigh pic 3 days in advance, which would suggest that she's found her next guy that she's looking for.
Yeah.
The Fenneko was usually one of those characters, like for me, that I love when it comes to comedies. Like she's usually the straight-laced one.
Yeah. But like every time she would open her mouth, she would like do like a really sick burn too.
I know, dude. That was the funniest part as well.
Because Aggretsuko does have fins, one in a fennec fox called Fenico, and then another one, a hyena named Haida. In the dub is voiced by Ben Diskin, so that was oddly perfect.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, no, it's funny because like it's one of those voices where it's like, oh yeah, this is just Ben Diskin's like regular voice, except he's playing it a little bit more aggressively since he's supposed to be a hyena.
Mm-hmm.
But he's mainly there to kind of be like the one that is nicer to her, and mainly because he has like a really big crush on her,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm gonna tell you guys right now, due to the life lessons the show has been teaching you, it's not gonna happen. I'll be surprised if it does happen, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I know what you feel, man, dude. And, dude, that's also one of the things that hit me as well with Haida and everything. Too, but like, damn.
I've gone through that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what went through my mind. So I was like, oh, dude, I feel you, my mans. Dude, I was like, I know that feeling. Strikes too late, waits around too much, doesn't get the message out.
Yeah.
And
has a very, at least for me, I don't know about you, had a very self-destructive reaction after hearing the news that you were too late.
oh,
Because that was me. I had a very self-destructive reaction to it, similar to how he does. Like he ends up like giving himself hypothermia, I think.
pneumonia.
Ammonia. There you go. Yeah. After seeing a coffee can that the guy that took her drinks and then like kicked it on the floor. Again, there's a really funny callback in season 2, but that will come soon.
Yes.
Anyway, so let's see where to begin with this. So basically, the show split up into 2 arcs. One we can just basically call the Shitty Boss arc, and the other one is called the Happy Wife arc.
Yep.
I do like I appreciate what the second half is, but I'm gonna talk about something really important right now. So, a YouTuber that I love to death, that we've mentioned on the show numerous times, but I am now going to just stay hush hush so I don't have to do any repeated editing. They did a review of they did a review of the first season last year, around the time the show came out, and they were very unimpressed by the show. They were like, oh, this kind of just seemed like, the story kind of seemed like an afterthought Sanrio made because they just wanted to get the character out there. But yeah, overall it's funny. And then it isn't until season 2 came out where said YouTuber had a little bit more time to mature and adapt and experience some of the things they talk about in the show, that she was much more enthused in it.
Okay, that was the guessing who it was.
Oh.
Yeah, they gave it away.
Yeah, I just dropped the non-binary thing on accident. I'm like, whoops! But anyway, she was much more enthused by the second season, even going as far as saying this is a show that only adults should watch.
Yes, I remember the thumbnails.
Yeah. Ooh, I'll probably have to turn that non-binary in editing. But anyway, no, it's fine. But that's the thing I'm gonna have to say I'm noticing is, if you do not go through the workplace experience, or at least suffer, at least go through, there's a lot of suffering as an adult, but if you don't at least go through this, some of the things that this show addresses, you're not gonna get it. And as much as I thought, no, I'm pretty sure you can just watch it and understand it. No. One of my best friends, Yana, who I've talked about a lot in the podcast.
Russian comrade.
Yes.
No, Belarusian comrade.
Yeah, Belarusian comrade.
The traitors.
Basically. That's like Putin's trying to
annex him back with something with Crimea.
Yeah, he's trying to get him back, and the dictator's like, nah, fuck that. Because fun fact, that's like one of the last dictatorships in the world.
Yeah, pretty much.
Korea, yeah. Except,
given the odd African warlord or two.
yeah, that's true. But yeah. Isn't also like isn't Cuba still like a communist state?
Not entirely. It's more like socialist.
Oh,
It's more socialistic now, especially with the passing of Castro and then his brother taking charge.
Oh, okay.
Because they still do the free healthcare and everything like that as well, but they're still trying to like build up their economy if anything.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, so no more driving cars from the 50s anymore, hopefully.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
Change is slow.
Yeah. No, but that's what I mean. That's what they're trying to go for. It's like no more driving cars from like the 20s because that's what you had when they first came here.
Dude, apparently in Russia, people are able to buy. Dude, I don't know how, but like every other time I see like Russian videos or like Russian highway cams, there's always somebody driving a tank. And I remember somebody on YouTube says like, dude, is it just me or like is it just like in every supermarket do Russians just buy tanks there?
The tank is the Hummer of Russia.
Yeah.
And that's how you have all those videos of Tank Man and stuff.
Dude, I mean, fun fact. Yeah, apparently you can get a Soviet era tank for like 20 grand.
What?
Decommissioned and everything.
Oh, okay, decommissioned.
So like it doesn't have like ammo and everything, but you can drive it and everything.
Yeah. So this should just be a photo of like a bunch of tanks driving down the street, and it's like, is this a Russian invasion or rush hour?
oh, that's gold.
Yeah.
Turn that into a meme right now before someone steals your content.
Gotta do it. But
you should do that. Just make that the thumbnail for this picture. Just Photoshop a bunch of tanks together with aggretsuko and the rest like going to work.
Yeah. I'll do it. Dude. I can do it. Dude. Kick.
Ooh.
Poor aggretsuko keeps getting pushed out of her own episode.
I know. And hey, it works out because it's pretty much how the dynamic is in the office.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, my friend Yana, who is fresh out of college and at the time of watching the show, hadn't even started work.
Oh, she's fresh out of college?
Yeah. Yeah, she's like 21. She's younger than you. Barely turned 21, actually. Like, literally a few months ago.
Well, for Belarusian Conrad, spasibo.
What?
Thank you.
Oh. She really... There was a lot of things in here that she just didn't really get. Like, again, Mr. Tone is an asshole. There's no getting around that. He's a jerk.
Yeah.
But the show does do a lot to explain and kind of justify why he is the way he is. It's not a good excuse. Like, literally, one of his excuses is, man, I used to get bullied all the time at work, and now today it's harassment if I try to dish it out too.
Oh yeah, and you know it's funny because he actually reminded me of one of my mom's old bosses. He wasn't like that.
Yeah.
But he would always tell her a lot about like how it was back when it was because he was from Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And like he's an old timer. Like so he's been around, he's did service and everything as well. Like he would always tell like how much different their generation is now compared to how his generation was.
Yeah.
Because you see in different countries and everything. Here in the United States, it's usually millennials versus like Generation X, Y, or Z or whatever it is. And then I think in Japan it was like before the economic boom versus post-economic boom and everything as well.
Yeah.
Because like Mr. Tone will say and everything, like he comes from an age where like they were strict and everything, like where they had to build back the economy. He was like, well, I don't know how old he is, but like I would imagine or fathom a guess, he was probably the post-war generation that had to build Japan's economy back again just to make it an economic power.
Yeah.
Just because they didn't. I mean, remember, Little Boy and Fat Man, they kind of devastate them.
Yeah. And you do kind of get that sense from him. He does kind of rule the office with like an iron fist. Wants everyone to be very efficient and, really is not a bad boss, except for the fact that like they really like to ride Vesco hard. But the show explains that too. And that is, she gives off the demeanor that they can get away with it.
Exactly.
And they do.
And this is like for me, where it's like seeing this is like a psychology and everything. Never show your stomach to anybody in a position of power and everything.
Mm-mm.
You never want to roll on your belly because once you do that, that's pretty much gives that character gives them a pass for everything. And just like what was her name? What were the names like the two friends that she made?
Gory and the other ladies?
Yeah.
Gory and Rashimi.
Yeah. And so like pretty much like what they tell him as well is like once you already said and this is the thing about first impressions. once you give somebody a first impression of who you are, it's pretty hard to change that image if you keep building up that first impression as well.
Oh yeah, so you can't be the office doormat and then try to start like flirting with your boss to get your way, or being the kisser, because then that they're not gonna, you know.
Yeah, it pretty much goes against their expectations, and the one thing that people don't like is rapid change.
Yeah. Yeah, like again, just like yesterday he was bullying her, and then the next morning she's trying to kiss up to him, and for that he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you? And it only ended up doling out the punishment worse.
Oh yeah. Because it's funny because I actually, when I was watching this, like it reminded me of a Spanish tale. It reminded me of a Spanish tale that I read in my Spanish class one time.
And it was called Ya La Llorona.
Oh no, not that. I can see what the segue was as well. No,
Exactly.
No, but it pretty much relates to the taming of the shrew, but it's like this is the one in Spanish and everything, where pretty much there's this one princess, who like people wanted to marry and everything, you know, because was a noble woman and everything. She was somebody of influence.
Yeah, a fucking princess.
But the thing about her is that she pretty much had a crass personality. So she was like really hard to please. She hated she was really quick to like snap at her potential suitors and everything. She was pretty much an iron woman. She pretty much did not like people trying to take over her life.
Oh yeah.
So one day there was this one suitor who came to her house, like he was like somebody who was like, of common ground and everything, really didn't have like a penny to his name or anything. And one of the things that he did and everything when he first decided to have dinner with her is that when they were sitting at the dining table, he would ask random animals like, hey, go fetch me some water. So he talked to the dog first, and when the dog didn't listen to it, he pulled out his sword and killed it.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
But that didn't faze her. So next he would talk, I forgot what the next animal was. No, I think he was talking to a pig, and he's like, you, fetch me my water. And he killed it too. And like that didn't faze her. It wasn't until he talked to his steed that he rode on that day when he came over here. He's like, talked to his horse, like, you, get me my water. And when the horse didn't listen to him, he kills the horse. And that's pretty much what shook her. Because mind you, a dog and a pig is not much in medieval time and everything. But when you kill a horse, that's pretty much your workforce right there. That's your vehicle. That's pretty much like everything that does like most of your things right there. So when she realized just how far he was willing to go when nobody listened to her. So when he looked at her, he's like, Q, do you mind getting me some water? Immediately listened to him and everything. And so when he told this tale to one of his friends, he was thinking, you know what? I'm gonna try that with my wife as well.
Oh no.
And when he tried to do the same thing as well, she was pretty much like, oh, you're just bluffing. He's like, I know you since the beginning already. He's like, I know you're not the type to really raise your hand at me.
Yeah. And he's like, really now?
Yeah, so it was like, that's when he learned his lessons of just how important first impressions are.
Oh god.
And that's the Spanish version of the taming of the shrew.
Remember people, you want to go to like you, kill all the animals.
No, kill the animal that means the most to you.
Yeah, kill the animal of high stature. But fuck, man, folk tales, man.
Exactly. So that's really one of the lessons when I saw her trying to change her appearance. It's like, dang, this is killing me right now because I can see where this is going, and I'm like, because again, the image she wants to give off to her coworkers and especially to her boss is that she's a good girl. She's a responsible, working office lady.
Yeah. And but like again, there's a difference between wanting to come off as good and just coming off as too good.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can come off as respectable, sure, but put a little backbone in there. When she goes, like episode 2, I think she goes to a boutique and is literally not literally, but is being righted by the staff there.
The saleswoman, yeah, the one that kept telling me like, oh, just make sure to like if you have any questions, if you want to try something on, just let me know.
No rush, take your time. No rush, take your time. Just let me take my time already.
And it was funny because she ended up getting guilt tripped to buying 3 socks and signing and then almost signed up for a points card.
Yeah, and they do that. I've gone through that too. Where it's like, oh, would you like to sign up for the power-ups reward? I'm like, no, I'm fine. Well, you can get this. No, I'm honestly fine. Come on, it'll save you money. I'm like,
oh man, dude.
Fine.
That's for me when it comes to food places. If they have points cards, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I need that free food once in a while.
Yeah, but that's something directly beneficial. It's like you go there, you spend stuff like 10 times, they punch out a card, and then you get like a free sundae or whatever. But it is very, it is again like a very hard show to watch at some points too. because if you're like me and Lewis, it will actually be capable of ruining your day.
Yeah, dude, I literally cried myself to sleep last night, and I don't know. I wish I could say I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. I legit I just watched episode 5. I was teary-eyed, and I had trouble falling asleep. I was like, dang, I have to wake up at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
But I can't.
Well, before we get, what did you have to do at 5 in the morning?
I was gonna go on a run with one of my friends, but then he ended up not showing up. So I was just like, I wanted to go on a run just to forget this episode.
I needed a distraction.
Yeah.
Well, before we get back into more of the deeper aspects of the show, let's try to aim a little bit more at the comedy then. One of my favorite characters in this show is actually Retsuko. Two characters who become Retsuko's like BFFs.
Hashimi and then Gori.
Yeah, which Gori's design still cracks me up because it's literally like a very, it's a very like stern gorilla face, almost like an Easter Island face, but it is supposed to be like a woman.
Yeah.
So when you see it and when you see her walking around in dresses and stuff, but you still see that stern face, there's just something about it that cracks me up.
Oh man, dude, I don't know why, but like for me, I think Gori just, I like Gori, but I saw an internet meme, not about her, but that like haunts me to this day.
What?
Because it's literally showing like a guy getting body slammed, and the bottom's like me trying to have a normal conversation. And on top it's saying, hey, do you think Tarzan was a virgin when he first met Mary Jane, or do you think he was clapping those gorilla cheeks? I was like, oh god.
Well, that's one thing I find really weird is I have heard people trying to waifu up some of the characters in here, but all I can think about is they are like chibi baby looking animals. I get it, a lot of them are like in their 20s and 30s, but they're fucking baby looking animals.
Rule 34, what does it state?
I know Rule 34, if it's on the internet, there is porn of it. But these are little chibi baby animals, and I don't appreciate the show even trying to make them come off as hot.
I don't want it either, and I kind of don't want the thought. I don't want that thought at all in my head.
Yeah. Retsuko is nothing but my sweet little baby. That is it. And I want a plushie of her, but apparently I couldn't find one at all. But there's Funko Pops everywhere.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah, when I was at Anime Expo, someone had like a giant Funko Pop like this big. Like literally almost the size of like two milk bottles on top of each other.
Ooh.
Yeah, you haven't seen those? They're like...
Yeah, I've seen the mega sized ones.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was like a mega size Retsuko. And I'm like, I want it. But I want a plush. I want it to be soft, damn it. I want to cuddle with it. So yeah, 25-year-old person saying that. Anyway,
Oh, and that's also one of the things as well that's gonna make this episode really interesting as well. Because one of the things that when I was thinking about, I'm glad you brought it up when you brought up Belarusian comrade Yana.
yeah.
It's pretty much as well, like depending on psychology with a little bit of gerontology. But one of the things that got me thinking about it as well, and like you brought up the issues, like everybody's gonna be taking it differently, not only based on the work experience you've had, but just where you at in life as well. Because think about it, you've got somebody who just recently turned 21. According to gerontologists, I'm in emerging adult. I'm in my emerging adulthood years.
Yeah.
You're already going into your younger adulthood years right now, since you're in mid-20s to mid-20s, so this range to mid-20s to mid-30s.
Yeah.
So we're all going to be having like pretty much different aspects about what we're going to be bringing as well. So this is going to be a good research paper right here.
Yeah, right. It's amazing like what this show can do for people and what it has done for people. I will put a link in the description to another video by a guy called That Creepy Reading, who does like a lot of horror stuff. He used to do a lot of creepypasta stuff, but now he just kind of talks about like creepy, dark stuff. But there was something about Retsuko that really like that really hit him, that he made an hour-long video going through every episode, including the Christmas episode, talking about the different aspects in the episodes and how they directly related to him.
Mm-hmm.
And how he really did have a shitty boss who was hard on him, but the difference between Retsuko and Tone is it was his stepfather that he was working for.
Mm-hmm.
So not only was he getting a negative thought about the guy he was working for, but he was also getting a negative thought about the guy that, you know, he initially would be calling dad and stuff. So
oh, dude, that's the worst.
Right? But it is it's a fascinating video. I'll link it too, so you guys can watch it. But it's interesting what this show is doing to people. And again, what this show did speak to me. There's again like the Anai. What that? Oh shit! I'm thinking of season 2. The stuff that happened in the second half of season 1 with the boyfriend stuff. I did say how like what Haida was going through was something I directly went through, and but like it wasn't until season 2 that they introduced a new character that just flat out spoke to me, because I'm like, I was that character at one point. I mean, I didn't do something this character ended up doing, but like
you could
setup.
Yeah.
And no, because we're talking about a character that like is fresh out of college into the work world, and is so scared of being talked down to that he was like writing up everyone, like sending like complaints about everyone in the office he didn't like. And that's not something I was doing, but yeah, it's something we'll get to. It's a very good episode, but you know, this is season 1, so.
Oh, dude, when you described it, damn, I'm gonna have to see that second season, man. Cause like the way you described him, he reminds me of one of my coworkers from IKEA. Cause that's how he was initially when he first started off and everything.
Yeah.
Just cause it was he had a reason to be nervous. I mean, he was straight out of prison.
Oh.
But he's a chill guy. He's a really nice guy, man. It's like the guy's just like, he's lovable. It's just like, you know, you can tell he's gone through shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and again, I look at Google and we hire a lot of ex-cons. So, yeah. And usually, I'm going to say this right now, the ex-cons are usually the nicest people in the workplace. At least in Goodwill. I've never had issues with the ex-cons. I've always had issues with like the douchebags who were just living regular lives and stuff. I'm like, yeah, fuck those people. The ex-cons are nice. The guy was so weird.
Nah, man, over at IKEA. No, I remember at IKEA, everybody collectively agrees. It's like, alright, we know the customers are gonna treat us like shit, so we gotta band together and see where we go off from here.
That's what I try to tell the people in donation. I'm like, we gotta stick together because these fucking donuts are going to walk all over us. Anyway, so one of the aspects I really do like in this show is the introduction of Washimi and Gori, who are two. Gori, if I'm right, worked in products.
Yeah.
And marketing. There we go. She was a marketing, and Washimi was the secretary to the head CEO.
Yeah.
Who the head CEO is more like a joke character.
Yeah.
He's a legitimately nice character who wants to like improve the workplace, but he's very impractical about it.
Oh yeah.
Like when he wanted to make like a noodle steam and all like that.
Yeah, it's just like everybody can get their cool noodles and everything during the summer and stuff like that, and then he ended up wasting 300 G's on the model itself.
Yeah, it's just like 300,000 on the models. Can you imagine how much it's gonna be when we have to build the actual thing? And they're kind of introduced as like, oh, they're the it girls. No one should talk to them. But I do like how there was this on-running joke where they would walk by them, be intimidated by them, and once they're around the corner, they would like break character, lightly break character.
Oh yeah.
But like always like, man, that take no prisoners what does hell to my back, and it's like, well, we have to keep up appearances.
Like, don't worry, I'll give you the number to a good chiropractor.
Yeah, and then the other one was like, I was afraid I wasn't gonna see that little I was afraid I wasn't gonna see that girl again. Something said that like yellow is my lucky color. And it isn't until...
Dude, Master Protein.
Oh my god, yeah, that's what I was going to go to right now, actually. I'm like, it isn't until she goes to yoga in the most awkward way possible, too, where she's like, I'm going to go to the yoga class. Second thought I should leave, and she ends up, like, running into someone in the class, too. And what was he supposed to be?
A llama.
A llama?
Hence the yoga.
Oh. So weird.
Now you get the joke.
Yeah. So he was like a llama, and it's just like looks down at her and literally just says protein. It's like sorry, I was just about to leave. Protein. And like picks her up and like carries her in the room and like throws her on the floor. And when she like notices the two girls from work, like they find out like, oh, that was actually the yoga instructor. And I I love the fact how like he'll instruct them, but like no one else really gets what he's saying except for like
His assistant.
yeah, and like again he's a pretty good yoga instructor. But one thing we forgot to mention, a really big thing, the show does have grounded issues in it, but it does kick up the absurdity of the issues to like 100 sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Like the fact that the yoga instructor does have mystical powers because he's studied every form of yoga to the point where he can go into the astral plane.
Oh yeah, I was like pretty much like when Mexico was like he's like, are you sure? He's licensed to teach yoga and everything. Like yeah, he's like the most certified person and everything. Like don't let appearances fool you.
Yeah, because literally he does come off as like a dude bro. Like he'll randomly be doing like push-ups and going protein, protein, protein. But what ends up happening in this little story is the two girls actually want to try to be friends with Retsuko.
Yeah.
You know, they talk in the class, but she never wants to go out with them because what Retsuko does every couple of nights, I think, like almost every night, is she goes to a hidden karaoke bar and just vents out on this specific vent metal. Hey, I just created a genre.
Vent metal.
Vent metal.
Dude, that legit sounds like something that would like that would be a hit with people in the office.
Oh yeah. I mean, maybe Retsuko should stop hiding who she is and tell people what she does, and everyone can do vent metal.
Like the office party where sadly everybody got drunk.
They got drunk to the point where they didn't even remember what happened, and for
She's
the
like
two,
knocking them out.
yeah, well the people who did remember, it's just like
She just knocked them out, dude. She's like Johnny Sins, man. She's like the hitman right there. It's like great work, Johnny Sins. Your payment shall be lined directly to your bank account.
and but like so. And that's the thing. One thing she said, even from episode 1, is that's her little special place. That's something she's not going to bring anyone else to. And it isn't until I think she does end up hanging out with them one night.
Yeah.
That they end up going to they end up finding the place and dragging her to it. And it is funny because the guy over there does kind of throw her under the bus a little bit when he like straight out recognizes her and he's like, oh, so party for one? Oh, party for three. And it's like, I thought you said you've never heard of this place before.
Dude, and that's funny because like before, it was like the reason why they go there is because like the llama ended up having a vision.
Yeah, I was gonna go back to that, but go.
Yeah, it's like he's just meditating and everything. His eyes close, and all of a sudden you see these digits appear: 90, 91, 89.
Oh my god, you remember the digits? I don't remember that at all. But yeah, he like writes it on a piece of paper and like gives it to Gory.
Dude, when I saw that, I legit thought for a second he just guessed her address. I was like, the fuck, you know where she lives?
Right? But like again, I guess it was just like the universe brought them to the karaoke bar, but it was up to the yoga instructor to kind of give them the key to this, because she refused to like cooperate. The other ones were singing, and Retsuko, just didn't want to tell them, even going as far as having like when they asked her like what type of music she's into, and internally she's saying, oh, I'm a fan of death metal, and then she's like, well, I can't tell them that, that's embarrassing.
Oh yeah, and it wasn't until Gory decided to punch in the numbers for her.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, I'll choose a song for you, let's go.
Yeah, and that is when she finally decides, you know what, maybe it is okay to let some people into my sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as she lets it all out, tells them who she is, they flat out accept her for it, and then from that point on, they're like her gal pals. They're like the ones that she goes to talk about things.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is the kind of relationships I haven't necessarily had this.
They were good senpais for her.
Yeah, they were very good senpais, but it's like, you have this 25-year-old girl talking to women who are possibly in the late to mid-30s, just who are already well established in life and kind of like talking to her. For example, when she starts dating a guy who isn't really considerate to her needs, they start like explaining it to her and like, really seeing if this is what she wants or if this isn't just a master plan, because Retsuko hates the job so much that she looks for outs for it.
Yep.
The first out was the fact that her friend from high school had a plan to open up like a home goods,
Dude.
imported goods.
Dude, when she said she wanted to open up the home the import, it was like, oh my god, is this how J? It was like, dude, they're literally talking how J-list started. Dude, because like literally the way she described it, I was like, yeah, like we were thinking of starting initially in the internet first before we have an established shop.
Yeah.
I'm like, J-list.
Yeah, and like even going as far for like, well, if I quit my job to do that, then what will I do for money? He's like, yeah, just go back and live with your parents. And she's like, I can't do that. So she ends up not taking that job. But one of the other outs she has is if she can get married to a well-off guy, then she doesn't have to worry about working ever again.
Being a stay-at-home wife and everything. But luckily, one of the things, because like this is literally the whole reason why she goes to the yoga and everything, because she wants to make herself attractive so she can bag herself a guy and everything. And it's funny how Tsunoma calls her the deer.
Yeah.
Tsunoma calls her up for it, like, oh, you're going to yoga. It's like, does that mean you're on the prowl or something? And like everybody, but this is funny because she's saying this all out loud while they're in the break room, so all of her coworkers like are listening in as well.
And it doesn't also help the fact that there is someone in the office who is there specifically lives off gossip. I forget her name, but it's the hippo.
Yeah.
She becomes like a way better character as the show goes on.
Oh, dude, I know.
But yeah, and like by the end of the series, we kind of see that kind of happening, but she's so desperate for that to be her out that she ignores like some really big red flags that are going on.
And again, Hashimi warns her about it as well because he's saying I know sometimes you gotta pretend to be the good girl and everything, but like, you can't always pretend to be the good girlfriend either as well. Because eventually, like, that's pretty much based on your love. At that point, it's pretty much based on like how long are you willing to act before it actually gets to you and everything as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what you heard me laughing and everything because I lost it every time he like got that peachy face every time she looked at him.
Yeah.
And the sad part is that Risasuke really reminds me of my friend Josh. A lot.
He reminds me of a couple of people, yeah.
Only because again, well, mine is the daydreaming thing and everything. Because Josh doesn't do that. He's actually. Now that I think about it,
I know they even call him the space cadet.
Oh, they call him the space cadet?
Yeah.
Oh, in the song they call him the out of pocket prince.
Oh, that's weird. Out of
You know why?
Why?
Because like you know how like he messes up like the little he always messes up the receipts and everything. You know how like what was that one lady's name that always tried to make people open her jar? The snake?
Fuck, I forgot. I'll look it up right now.
But yeah, every time like one of the things that she did is like she always liked to push her work upon other people. And like she always left the receipts to him as well, to Risasuke.
Yeah.
And the thing was that since he was always daydreaming a lot as well, like he would always mess up the receipt, making the copies for the receipts and everything. So she would always make him pay everything out of pocket. Hence why they called him the out of pocket prince.
Oh, I actually didn't get that. Oh, no wonder she. Well, they did establish that he was rich in the dub. So yeah, that is one of the reasons why she went after him. Her name is Tsubone.
Tsubone, there you go. I don't know why, but she reminded me of Tsunade for a second.
Tsunade?
Lady Tsunade from Naruto.
Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of characters who are like unlisted in the show. And it's funny because like the show has like a ton of characters.
And yeah, and one of the things as well is like, well, yeah, I'm warning her. Remember, you can fake it all as much as you can as well, but at one point she's gonna have to like, she's gonna need to do that release and everything.
Yeah.
Because if there's one thing that, as a psychologist, not yet, in the working, psychologist in the making.
Yeah.
But like the one thing eventually as well is like, and this is something actually, you know what? I'm gonna use my favorite quote. You know the show Chernobyl?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use my favorite quote from that show and everything. It's like, we lie and lie to each other until eventually we forget about the truth. But eventually, we don't realize that every lie we tell incurs a debt that needs to be paid to the truth. And eventually that debt needs to be paid.
Yeah.
And this both applies to both personalities and nuclear reactors. And that debt that he was pretty much referring to as well is like, again, you can lie about something and everything as well. Like you can keep like trying to like put it under the closet or like make it a skeleton in the closet, but eventually those lies pile up to the point where like once it breaks out of that closet, it's gonna be a bigger price you're gonna have to pay than if you just if you were just honest to yourself in the beginning and everything. And this is both true both for the RMBK reactor that exploded in Chernobyl.
Yeah.
And Retsuko's personality. Because the reason why she has to vent all those times as well, why she has to sing heavy metal and everything, is because she bottles up all those emotions that she has in the work office, and she's gotta find an outlet for it as well.
Yeah.
Which for me raises a lot of red flags and everything. Because a lot of people, whenever you go under that pressure, like especially if you have to bottle up something or you gotta keep something in your head and everything, like once that does explode out and everything, like for Retsuko it was singing, but for other people it could take other forms of abuse. Whether it's like, well, she was a bit of an alcoholic, whether it's alcoholism, drugs, risky behavior,
Yeah.
etc. So those kind of things, like, and you can see where the show gets a little heavy because then you start thinking about yourself and you're thinking, dang, I never thought about it this way, because then you start thinking about your behaviors, and then things just get a little too real from there.
Yeah, it does. And of course we do have like things popping up such as them going out on a date to a theme park. Her heels killing her because she wore like very fancy heels that.
And it's like just like giving her like a bad blister on her heels. So that hurt me.
Yeah, and even when she's like trying to find a way to get him to sit down, he's just like, no, I'm not hungry, let's keep walking. And not at all picking up the fact that she is in pain and is trying to find an opportunity to rest. And then you have this really disturbing scene of her about to blow up on her way to the bathroom, seeing the little symbol of rage pop up on her head, and then her slapping her forehead and going into the bathroom and repeatedly telling herself,
like, oh yeah, go for it.
Oh, what is it again? I was gonna say something different. What was it again?
It was like, at the count of 10, I'll be a good. At the count of 10, I'll go back to being a good girlfriend. At the count of 10, I'll go back to being a good girl. Dude,
There you go. I got the quote completely wrong. Good thing I let you do it.
Cause, dude, every time you said that, for me, that's literally the part where it made me tear up the most.
It was really hard to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are basically watching speaking of, last week, of parasitic relationships, you are straight up watching just a toxic relationship right now. You're watching a relationship with a guy who, mind you, is just as much as a victim as she is.
Mm-hmm.
Because how she ends up meeting this guy is not Sabone, the other girl?
Tsunade.
Tsunade? The deer?
Damn it, I said her name earlier too.
Yeah. She ends up inviting her and Feniko to a mixer.
Tsunoda.
Okay. So she ends up inviting her and Feniko to a mixer, which involved the guys from sales. And basically, she and him hit it off. They're texting each other. She shows up to the office every morning to give him a coffee, and the guy's like, oh my god, dude, she's like totally into you. When are you gonna do something about it? He's like, do I have to do something about it? It's like, yes, and it's like, well, why? And it's like, because she likes you. And it's like, so that means I have to do something about it? And he's like, typically yes.
Oh yeah, the bobcat when he kept nudging him off.
Yeah, and so basically you have him on his side being pushed into a relationship just because apparently that's what you have to do. But you can tell he does have a type of dissociative disorder or something.
It's not to the point where it's a disorder, but rather it's just kind of like, he's one of those people where you just kind of like spaces out too often.
Yeah.
Like he's always distracted by something.
Yeah, and like by the end of the series where Vetsuko ends up like having to break up with him, you see him go back to his home and it's literally just plants.
Dude, that made me cry for him when he just comes back to his plants and everything's like, I'm back.
Yeah, that he does characterize because he talks to them, and it's like, look, compared to the guy from, well, when I first saw this, I initially was very happy that they broke up and really like didn't like him, But it wasn't until like in hindsight when I started thinking about his situation and like how the show ended for him. I'm like, he was just as much as a victim as she was.
No,
if anything, she was using him. Just wait until you get to season 2, and in that one, there's no arguing against that one. We'll get to it. But
dude, again, when I saw him alone with those plants and everything, like that's literally right now. Like I'm trying to hold back the tears for him.
you're lucky you didn't see the Christmas episode.
That's gonna be me next week.
Yeah, that's gonna be you next week because they show what he does on Christmas, and it's like, oh, this is.
I don't want to think about it. Like you want to see me tear up live, don't you?
Yeah, that's like when you said, "Oh, we should do a live reaction." I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. Especially the Christmas episode's not that bad, but it's like, yeah, they do slip in a few kickers in here.
Oh, I can only imagine how harrowing it must be.
Yeah, but they do. Yeah, it is a very tough thing to watch, and like if we can circle back a little bit, we do have tone, because one of the things that was directly affecting Aggretsuko during this relationship was she was super blind, like she was love blind, and she was just as scatterbrained and spaced out as he was, to the point where it was like not affecting, it was affecting her role in the office.
Yep.
Like something ended up happening where there was like this massive accounting error where
yeah, because one of the things in accounting and everything like and even like Tone puts it up as well, is like he had to cancel his business fund, his plans and everything, because I think what was happening over here is like the fiscal year was ending. And pretty much they have to make sure that all payments and everything have to be accounted for before they can end the fiscal year. Yeah. And this was something that I learned a little bit from I forgot where I learned it from. I think my mentors told me about it as well. But like every other end of the fiscal year and everything, you pretty much have to have an account of like sales totals and everything just to know where you're at. Yeah. And you cannot be inaccurate with that, because any small slip up and everything, and that could lead up to like trouble down line as well. Just because you don't like Tone said and everything, like when he gave Resco her little lecture and everything, it's like you can keep giving and everything, but at the end of the day, if you give more than you're receiving, you'll end up with nothing at the end.
Fuck! I should have stopped you. Okay, we'll get to it. But one of the things that was happening there is they needed everyone in the office.
Yeah.
And they were down 2 people. They were down
3.
No, I know. But they were down Haida.
Pneumonia.
Yeah, had pneumonia. And they were down Sabone because it turned from her after Retsuko badmouthed her. She had it really out for her. Yeah. So one of her big master plans was getting her to open this unopenable jar of something. And it's like, yeah, she like ended up spraining her wrist and had to stay home because she couldn't open the jar.
Yeah.
And then
the hippo. She actually ended up getting arrested. Yeah, I remember, because she got arrested because they thought she was conducting espionage and everything, because you know how much of a gossip mouth she is.
Yeah.
I can't believe you forgot about her.
But wasn't that the joke that she really was a part of espionage?
I don't know.
Yeah. I forgot.
But yeah, apparently she just got arrested because she was being accused of espionage.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, my bad then. Because it's like, and then Tone just says, no, we're actually down 4, and he just sees like spaced out Retsuko, and that is when we get this scene. Again, Lewis basically said it, but we'll let it play out.
Replay it for the real one.
Oh, come on. Fuck! I gotta see what's up with that. Every time it's on for a while, the sound messes up.
That was creepy.
It's very creepy. I'm just glad it doesn't mess with the recording itself. Like, it doesn't just outright corrupt the files or something. What episode was that again? 9?
You want me to get it on my tablet?
I already have it here.
I think that was like 10.
Okay. This thing has good enough sound, it's just that I already had the thing open, but yeah, I gotta see what's up with this. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
Calculating how much is coming in, not much is getting
me keep an eye on the screen.
I'm sorry. Everyone's working hard. And I'm just kind of useless.
You know what accounting's all about? Calculating how much is coming in and how much is getting spent. Every last yen. People who half-ass their numbers never do it once. The mistakes pile up, and it hurts the company. Hurts people, too. How long are you gonna keep half-assing your own numbers, huh? If you keep giving out more than you're getting back in return, eventually there ain't gonna be anything left. You get what I'm saying?
I think I do. You know, you're really a good person.
You tell yourself that. Yeah, I'm just a bastard who's willing to give it to you straight.
Please, Mr. Toad. I want to help out too.
Come on then. That's why we go to work.
Dude, damn, in the sub, slightly different worded, but still just as powerful as well.
I noticed there were a few word changes when you said it, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's
like,
weird because there's not a lot of mouth matching they have to do in this show.
I know, right?
Yeah, especially when they yell, and it's literally just the mouth open and vibrating.
Oh yeah, and like the one thing as well, because like in the sub and everything, like you know, he's just a bastard and everything.
Yeah.
And like because like one of the things when she was saying that's like I was like, but he's such a good person and everything. Like when he looks at her, she's like, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
She tells like I wouldn't know and everything. So when he leaves, like I know how I'm just your shitty boss and I know how much you hate these short lectures and everything. So I'm gonna go now. So right as she's leaving, that's when she looks at him. She's like, please give me something to do. It's like I want to be a help of the team as well. He's like, you're gonna let the shitty boss you around then for later on?
Fuck. Okay. Good voice acting, but that was way more impactful because one thing we didn't talk about was they go to a drinking party. It was mentioned, I remember you mentioned.
The end of the company drinking party.
Yeah, they go to a company drinking party after Washimi had alerted the CEO about his bullying and like the CEO talked to him. But like the CEO is such like a gentle soul that he's just like, look, can you just tone it down a bit? And he was like mad and trying to figure out who it was. So him and Vetsuko have this heart-to-heart where he's flat out telling her like what his deal is and all that. And then she lets it slip that she was the one that reported him. And that's what caused him to get on stage in a battle and just like diss her.
I know.
And then she just goes off calling him a shitty boss, and you get this really deep line where he's just like, oh, so I'm a shitty boss? Well, one of these days, you're gonna find out that the next person that gets called a shitty boss is the one you're looking at in the mirror, and just like passes out, and it's like, remember, he used to be you. There'll be a day where you'll become a boss and someone won't like you.
Dude, yeah, somewhat similar in the subs as well, because like what he said as well is like, you think I'm the shitty boss now, but one day you'll watch but because in the Japanese sub, he said like, but one day you'll watch yourself turn into that same shitty boss as well, and then he passes out.
Yeah, okay. So both of the wordings work.
They work, man,
Yeah.
They both have like the same impact and everything, so you get the message across and everything.
But man, there's just something like very petty that just works along with that character more in the sub. Because again, he is an asshole. There's no getting around that he's a jerk.
Yeah.
But it's like...
He a talented jerk, man. He was an advocate. Because he does all the because he even says, because he's an outdated boss and everything, that's why he relies on relies on his coworkers to do most of the work, because he's not used to computers and everything.
Yeah, but when he has to get down to it, he gets down to it.
Yeah, and like, dude, when he does all his calculations on the abacus and everything, I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, like even the other, I think even at one point one of them are like, are we even doing anything by this point?
I know.
But it is, again, it is a very interesting thing going back to my friend Yana, who is very much still looked at him as an asshole, and no matter how much I explained him to her, she didn't really seem to fully get it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until season 2 where a similar talk happens where she got it, but I really do think it just has something to do with the fact that she is a feminist. And she can't find any way to find misogyny excusable.
Mm-hmm.
So that I get.
No, and that's one of the things as well. Like where again, it's like a lot of like where it goes with the power strokes and everything, and like again, one of my favorite well, what was it? Oh, when I was watching this movie with what was it again? It was a movie I was watching when I was in San Diego and everything, but one of the things that they're trying to do is they're trying to solve a murder mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And like the husband, it's like he works as a detective and he says like,
Oh, the Adam Sandler movie?
Yes.
You just said the title, Murder Mystery.
Murder mystery. That's what it was.
Uh-huh.
But it reminds you over there because like he was saying, like I was like, oh, I know who it is. It's like, yeah, it's like it's the brother because he's the one who had the most to gain and the most to lose. It's like I don't know. I would like to think people are a lot more complex. And it's like trust me, when you work the line I work for, you find out people are a lot more simpler than you think. Which again, when it comes to all these things, as well, like you mentioned, but with Tone's character, like it's very easy to just write him off as an asshole just because it's a very simple way to do everything. But because of what you and I have experienced, like in our work lives and everything, like we know there's a lot more complexity to it as well. Because we gotta acknowledge he is an asshole and everything,
Yeah.
but there's more to than just being an asshole as well.
Yeah, again, the reason why I defend him so hard is because I did have what I believed was a shitty boss. After the boss that initially hired me at Goodwill left, we got this new boss who was like 1,000 times more stricter, and she really did believe in pushing the company more. She believed in management more, like just managing areas, putting people in areas that they're not comfortable in, just to kind of maximize, like, you know, the cashiers, the donors. And a lot of people didn't really like it because she was one of those, well, if you can't play ball, then, you know, you're fired.
Oh.
And she did target me a bit because I was at that time in the thick of school. Like that was when I was a full-time student.
Oh, I remember when you were talking about it a little bit.
Yeah, remember that was when I was only working once a week.
Yeah.
Like she was doing everything in her power to try to get me to quit. But again, as the months went on and I kind of proved to her that I'm not going anywhere and, you know, I am a pretty damn good worker when you give me something that isn't cashiering, I learned that, yeah, you know, she's tough, she's strict, but you are a hell of a boss. We were number 2 in all of the district the whole time she was there. And again, by the end of it, it was kind of like when new people would come in and complain about her, I'm just like, you gotta give it time. You know, you'll get the kind of person she is. Trust me, we were all in your shoes, but a lot of them, we do respect who she is. So, you know, she's not there anymore, which is why I can say that story. She's a district manager for like out of LA now.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what happens to eventually all of them. Like I have a manager right now that I like, and I'm just like, due to how good you are and how efficient you are, you're probably gonna be here just as long as she was. So I give him like 1.5 years until he's like district manager, and then we get a new boss.
Damn. No, because for me, like for my story, if anything, like I never had a shitty boss or anything.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was just usually either like, you know, like just like it was just like somebody like a coworker who's just been working there a lot longer than I have sometimes. Like not at IKEA, but just like my older jobs and everything would be like, you know, push the work more on me or anything like that. Just because I was like younger, had more energy and everything.
Oh, I went through that too.
But like the one thing I can, like I remember one of my coworkers like at IKEA right now, like they would tell me like how much it's changed and everything. Like the way they describe it is like IKEA pretty much went from like being the dream job for most people for starting to just being a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
Because they said like ever since like, you know, like the previous CEO, like the founder of IKEA, Ingvar, passed away and everything, like pretty much the rights to the company went to his children. And the thing about him is because like the thing about Ingvar was like he was pretty much somebody who like had more like socialistic ideas. He believed in pretty much doing things for the coworkers and everything. Hence why IKEA has like a lot of benefits over coworkers. Mm-hmm. Like when you work over there, you get a lot of perks and everything. Like my insurance is involved, even if you're a part timer and everything. And apparently, like according to some of my old workers, like once like his children took over and everything, like just things changed rapidly because they weren't raised with that ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Because his children were raised here in America, and they were raised with the ideal of like working more for corporate success. So they said like throughout the years as they work here and everything, they pretty much was like they pretty much did what's called like cutting out the fat or leaning out the fat and everything.
Oh yeah.
So they started taking out away most of the benefits and everything. Where IKEA is still a pretty damn good job to have, but it's not the dream job that it used to be.
Yeah.
So like that's why they were telling me and everything as well. Like yeah, a lot has changed ever since his children took over and everything, and that's why like one of the things that they missed as well, because like they've been working there for like a decade or so.
Oh, so this is like, so this was like just a couple of years ago, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe 6 or 8 years.
Because he passed away like recently, like 2 years ago.
Oh, so it just changed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then that makes sense because if you said he was here for over the decade, then he would have had like 8 or so years of, seeing IKEA, and then now he's just seen it drastically change. And yeah, that's, I can't agree with work, but that was me being at GCC for so long, is seeing how it was like changing.
Mm-hmm.
How like we were switching, how they were handling the special ed department, the student with disabilities department, and how we were changing like websites we were using for schoolwork and all that.
Oh yeah, from Moodle to Canvas.
Yeah, and I mean I give it Canvas is better, but Moodle did have things that Canvas doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
So I give them that.
It's pros and cons pretty much. Like pretty much gotta weigh like, well, do you get more benefits and costs?
Yeah. There's never gonna be a perfect move. Like there's no such thing as a perfect move. There's always going to be something different. But anything else you want to mention in the show that you might have left out? I mean,
I beg to differ. I believe there is a perfect move, and I man is Steve Blum.
okay. How's that a perfect move? That maybe if he took over the voice for someone.
No, I'm just like, that's just how much of a fanboy I am for him. It's just been a while since I talked about
What did
it.
that have to do with that? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, what does that have to do with Steve Bloom?
He's my perfect move.
Oh,
Don't
man.
question me.
I can't go an episode without mentioning Ben Biscuit, so But no, like oddly enough, when it comes to a voice actor that I absolutely fanboy over, it's fucking Ruby. Like that's the only reason I didn't drop Ruby after season 2 when Monty died, because I'm like, wait, fucking Vic Mignogna's playing Crow, and now I might not watch Ruby. Because they already got the new voice actor, and I'm like, he's not bad, but
It's no Vic Mignogna.
yeah, he's no Vic Mignogna. And then I love listening to all of the legal stuff coming out of like the actual case. Now that like it's in full swing, and I'm like, oh man, these people are so fucked.
Again,
This guy was never a bad dude.
he's scummy, but not for the reasons we think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's scummy because he hits on married women and stuff. And not older fans, no, but just like older people at conventions. But like, the whole hugging and kissing thing he would do, that was just like, people would always ask me to do that. I just got used to it. I'm sorry. And now I know he's not, because someone took a photo with him and he's just doing the Keanu thing, where he's just like this.
Oh.
He's not, there's no hands anymore. Like, I think if they ask, he will, and I think there was a video I saw where it's someone like, oh, you want to take a photo? Oh, okay. No, can you have your hand on me? You want me to put my hand on you? Yes. You guys heard that, right? That thing's rolling? Yes. Okay. Just making sure.
I know, man. No, I know what you mean and everything as well. And like, again, pretty much it's everything like back to the Chernobyl quote and everything. Every lie incurs a debt that needs to, incurs a debt to the truth that eventually has to be paid off.
Exactly.
I love that series so much.
I need to finish it. I saw the first couple of episodes and I'm like, this is like a goddamn horror show. Nope. And it's funny because one of my favorite movies is The Thing, which is nothing but body horror.
Yeah.
But that's real life body horror. I mean, again, a little over dramatized, but still real life enough. So anyway, anything else?
Right? No, not really. Pretty much everything else I think is just me just catching up to the Christmas and then like the second season of it as well.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it as well, again, it's like these are things it's like, we have, you more than me, but still, it's like it's one of these things like we've experienced or are currently experiencing at the moment as well. You've seen like the work dynamics and everything as well. And pretty much everything, again, I can discuss more of the psychological concepts and everything, but at the cost of me breaking down every now and then.
Yeah.
Just crying.
Yeah, and plus we can get to plenty of more crying in season 2 because season 2 is a little bit more heavier.
Aw.
It does focus on humanizing a lot of the characters who are just kind of there as jokes, like
Aw.
again the hippo, who is it season 1 or season 2? No, it's season 2 where I think she starts like cyber stalking along with Finico. But they also do a lot more humanizing for Tone, down to the point where you even see his family,
Oh.
and it's hilarious.
Oh. That's gonna be interesting.
It's I'll just say it right now. It's very ironic, due to the kind of person he is and what his family is like. It's very ironic.
I can imagine what it is.
Yeah. One of my friends flat out guessed it. He's like, "Is it all this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's all that." That's his family. But yeah. So let's get to closing thoughts. Is that even? There's not an ending to this, right? It just kind of ends.
Yeah. It literally just like it just ends and the credits just roll.
Nah, fun. I'll find something. I know what I can play.
Oh, put the heavy metal version of Row 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 Your Boat.
I was gonna play the romantic song. You know, the really bland romantic song that you can tell they're not in love with each other.
Oh.
Yeah, let me play a little bit of that.
No, I just said that one because I saw this one video of a guy like talking about the Viking from For Honor, and like this is one of boat where he's rowing his boat, and he just plays the heavy metal board. He's literally like row your boat. I was like, oh, that fits up perfectly.
Here we go. Aw. Listen to the dialogue. Ah, fuck. Can I find the dub?
That's what I was listening to earlier.
Yeah, and the things are so little, but I wanna find the dub. Give me the dub.
But oh my god, man, dude, I just could not get over his freaking beachy face that he kept putting on her. She kept putting on him.
Oh, I love that scene because one of the things that kind of drives her to break up with him, I'm gonna have to pull it from Netflix, is the fact that she is like, okay, well, if there's one thing for sure that's going to decide whether I should be with this guy, I'm gonna take him to the karaoke bar, tell him exactly who I am, what I'm into, and his only reaction is clapping and like, I'm not much of a singer, so you can just keep going. And she realized that completely flew over his head. Yeah, it's over. And then it ends. Is this it? Is this it? Is this it? Where is 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 it? I can't find it. I can't find it. Yes.
Alright, so final thoughts.
Final. You won? Well, let them hear a little bit of it first. Oh, I was immediately already finding things different because it opened up with her saying Once Upon a Time. So, do you guys find anything weird with that song? Anything?
It was a hookup.
True, but it was more like, it's not really them stating what they like about the other, it's them just stating things about the other.
Yeah,
Like
just exactly just what happened.
yeah, there's nothing romantic, there's nothing, oh, you're the love of my life, oh, you make me feel this, it's just, you're that dumb guy from sales, and you're the freaking girl who puked on me in accounting, and now we're at a theme park. Yay! It's like, okay, this is, ooh.
I know.
Yeah, very, very uncomfortable last 2 episodes. 3 episodes, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because that whole boss thing takes up like a majority of the series. These are 10 episodes, so 10 times 15, what is that?
150.
150
You just added 0 at the end of the 15.
Mwah. So 150 minutes. Possibly. I could be wrong.
It's like 2.5 hours.
Oh, that's not bad. Wait, that is 150 minutes. So, yeah, because it's 140 minutes and it's 2 hours and... Yeah, okay. Yay! I'm not a complete waste. That's also the runtime for It. So, if you don't want to see the new It movie, just watch an episode, just watch a whole season of aggretsuko.
Just binge the whole series of aggretsuko.
Instead of watching the new It movie. A fucking 3-hour horror movie. What is wrong with them? Okay, sorry. Anyway, while I get the song, you can go ahead and start giving final thoughts.
Oh, that stretch made me tear up. Why can't I do anything without tearing up?
Because you're like me. Can I just watch one thing and not cry?
Dude, again, like you said, Ancient Magus might just hit me for the feels, but aggretsuko hit me because of the reality of it.
Yeah.
Which hits a lot harder than just the feels.
Which is very funny because at least Ancient Magus had people in it, and these are all cute anthropomorphic animals.
Well, mind you, these are people who are, like, you know, magical or mythical at least.
Yeah, but at least you can relate to them more because they look human-esque.
I don't know, I could never relate to Chise.
No, I can't relate though because I haven't gone through anything she went through. Again, that is why she's so that is why aggretsuko's so relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy metal.
But yeah, so final thoughts on this as well. Well, I pretty much feel like I've been saying this like throughout this whole review and everything, but goddamn, there's so many things you can just find that you can agree upon as well, or at least like, yeah, I've experienced that before. Cause holy shit, does this show really get to you with that? Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Hey.
It's very short though.
No, yeah, but like one of the things as well, especially when it came to aggretsuko and everything, like even by the first episode, I could already tell this was gonna be depressing.
Yeah. The first episode was very light, but then it's like, there's some things they're mentioning in here I'm not comfortable with.
I know.
They have a sexist boss, why?
Especially pretty much coming on board, like it literally just brings forth all the issues that you can do, that you pretty much can expect to see in a work office as well. Where here in America, it's like, pretty much you can expect it here in America as well. Because like again, when you try to when you're trying trying to like win the rat race and everything, climb the corporate ladder and stuff like that as well, you're gonna come across people who don't want you to pretty much surpass them, or who are just gonna be abusing their power because they were there at that one point as well where you started off.
Yeah. This is the greatest thing that my ears have ever heard. Yes, so keep going.
But yeah, and just seeing like pretty much the opposite dynamics and everything, like you get all the personalities, you get the person who's like taking on tasks one after another without saying no, pretty much a yes person. And you get the boss who's pretty much like, you know, doing a lot of things on the side and everything, trying to like, you know, practice his swing. But then later on you figure out just how much he's gonna be getting written on as well once end of the year stuff happens as well.
Yeah.
And then you get the weasel who's like pretty much like, oh, that guy I could not stand either, but at the same time I was like,
Yeah, I knew. Luckily I never had to deal with them, but I knew people who's like, yeah, this is kiss up, and I'm like, that's gunning for me.
Oh yeah, and then you get the kiss up with Tsunade, with Tsunoda, who pretty much like kept saying like everything like, oh how awesome, which pretty much, by the way, that chick is pretty much like Hashimi said, like she's the wise one.
Yeah.
Because she knows how to rap. That's actually the kind of woman that scares me, the one who knows how to manipulate people. Because right from the get-go and everything, especially when they first met with Tone, like she knew exactly what to say to pretty much like, you know, like make him feel good, to like kind of you know, keep her on his good side and everything. Because like she told pretty much like it's pretty much she told Aggretsuko and everything. Like guys like him, they only want to hear one thing. It's just pretty much like how awesome they are at their job and everything.
Yeah.
Because since he's old style and everything, like again, like you mentioned, he was pretty much in Retsuko's shoes at one point where he was bossed around and everything, he was pushed around just to do everything as well, as we can see with his advocacy skills. And not once was he ever praised for it.
Sure.
And Tsunoda pretty much like hit it right on the nail. All he ever wanted to hear was pretty much how great he was at his job, just so that he knows that he was going out the right way and everything.
Yeah.
So take some advice from this show, because this show can really give you some good life pointers and everything.
Yeah.
Unless you've already set up your first impression, at that point, Take things gradually. Don't do rapid change. Rapid change bad.
Yeah, don't be the punching bag one day and then try to be the kisser. Then no, what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. It's not gonna work out well for you. And other than that, for me, like this show, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen in Christmas in the second season.
Yeah. Ooh.
I really like this show a lot, despite despite the state it left me last night.
Yeah.
But
Second season ain't gonna do you no favors.
I look forward to this. Did you see me get my onions? I'm looking forward to this.
You start hearing like that sad music and stuff like that?
Like a little violin playing.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I can't wait till that happens, man. But for me, I'm looking forward to seeing the second season with tears in my eyes. Your turn.
Anyway, as you guys know, aggretsuko was one of those shows that I just kind of watched because fuck it, why not? I had nothing else to do. I had already finished an anime Lewis wanted me to watch, Bad Amazing, and I'm like, oh, I have Netflix on my phone now, so what can I do? So I just ended up to watch the entire. My bad. Woo. I just ended up watching the entirety of this show.
Do you need a drink?
No, I'm good.
It's ginger ale.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Is it spiked?
No, this is legit just orangeade ginger ale, so it's sweeter than most.
Oh yeah, yes, it is.
I got my lemon one in here.
Oh, it's so good. I'll start drinking it in a bit. I'm pressing the bottle against my neck, people. It's hot.
I was about to question what you were doing.
The second mouth is drinking it. But I was really surprised how just not only like funny and entertaining to watch, but just like how true it was. There were just moments where it was like
I think I found the spiked one.
there were just moments where it was like hitting you with facts every 5 minutes. Like I would never in my life thought that I would start relating towards an anthropomorphic red panda or a hyena who is mainly there to kind of set up a romance that is never going to happen given the type of show this is. Again, if it happens, good. If it doesn't, don't cry because I saw this coming.
No, if it happens, I'm gonna cry.
Why? Because it's so beautiful?
No, because this is like a what if. Because I'll be like, damn, this could have been me a couple years ago, but no.
No, can't do that. Can't do that to yourself. Goddamn. But yeah, a lot of the side characters are really fun. Again, one of my favorite characters in here were mainly the people who worked for the company. Like, I love Gory and Hashimi. I really, seriously, I love that.
Was it Rashimi or Hashimi?
I guess Hashimi. I could be wrong. But it was this song that because I really did like that moment where like Retsuko declines the invite and then Gory's just like, she hates me. It's like, oh, it was just a friendly gesture, it's fine. Oh, I don't know why I love jokes like that. Like again, I liked it more than you did. When Ben made us watch it, but like I really love that joke in Showman Sample, how one of the girls just had a giant like love towards the little lolly in the group, and when she tries to get it to take something and she turns it away, she's like, she hates me! I'm like, I don't know why I love jokes like that, they're so weird.
Dude, that Showman Sample just...
I know, it got a little too much, but I don't know, I guess I have a feeling it was because we did some heavy stuff.
Yeah, and then that just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So the pacing was a bit off.
Yeah, no, it's like, we did a lot of heavy stuff, like a lot of heavy emotional anime. I think that was after the movies. Remember, a lot of those movies didn't play around when we did the movies. So it felt good to watch something that was just stupid. Yeah, it was overly fan-servicey and a little creepy in some parts, but it was fun. After watching something like Summer Wars again for the second time, when I said I wouldn't watch it for the first time either.
That movie was great.
I love that movie. But yeah, anyway, I do highly recommend this show. The characters are very likable. And again, as we saw, they do have a very good dub in here. But kind of, I will suggest for the first time ever, pick either or. because I think the voice acting was really good and the writing gave you enough of the bare minimum of what the show was trying to say. But I do think the execution of the writing, from what you were telling me and from what I was seeing in some of the clips, is well better executed and actually matches the characters a little bit more.
Yeah, and again, well, this kind of into that, but as well, like I think it's just to the point because like you gotta remember this is a Japanese working culture, like not an American working culture. So there's gonna be some differences in those dynamics if anything.
Yeah, that's probably why they probably didn't want to paint Tone too much as an asshole, even when he is kind of nice.
Yeah.
So they kind of softened him, at least in the nicer moments, but he's still a sexist pig.
Literally, he's not saying that just describe. He's that's literally him.
Oh no, yeah, Tone is literally a pig, and it's hilarious at one point because he has like this constant scary aura around him. But then when like the CEO tells him to be nicer to people, he's nicer and it literally creeps everyone out. Oh, Calendar, aggretsuko, it's great to see you.
Oh, that's what they call nicknamed her?
Yeah. What do they call me?
Short timer.
What? Why?
Because after that it was implied that he's gonna cut off her working hours to tighten her budget.
Oh, okay. So in the dub, they call her Calendar because her days are numbered. You know, after she talks shit about the company, and they're like, man, that was fucking Mexico. But yeah, that's what they call the number. That's why they call it Calendar, because it was like, it's literally her going down until the days are up.
Damn, no one call her short timer.
Short timer. Yeah, again, probably more of a Japanese thing.
Yeah. But the calendar one makes more sense. The short timer one just like, I was like, It took me a while to figure out what was going on with that.
The short timer one seems a lot more literal, and the calendar one is kind of it's very punny, and I love how even in the nicer moments he still like refers to her as Calendar, except when he really does kind of have a heart to her and he does call her Retsuko. But yeah, anyway. Everything you said is what I think. I love the moments of humor in here. They really were a nice little break from, again, just the sheer brutalness of the real world that's showing at you. Again, one of my favorite jokes was when she realized she couldn't quit her job, and then she started working like a robot with no back sass. And both of the managers are like really piling it on. But yeah, anyway, that's my final thoughts. So you do want to do it next week?
Yes.
Okay, because we could have put it off until it was my turn again.
No, I want to get rid of this depression right now.
Okay, so this will be a part 2, and then after part 2, it will be Lewis's pick for whatever he has. Hopefully he won't get revenge on me. No, don't do it again.
I don't know, man. I'm just glad you did not decide to do this after real life, because that would have just broken me.
Oh God, no. Ooh, fuck. No, real life was something that I'm like, I just feel like Lewis beat the shit out of me with boxing gloves. I didn't even skip. Okay, one, I want to finish the manga, and then I want to see the final OVAs. But when it gets down to it, I'm afraid to finish that show.
I know, man.
That's not what he did to me.
Because, like, dude, for me, the reason I'm afraid to finish that show as well is because, like, I feel like once I finish it, I'll lose something.
Yeah. Anyway, that's our show. Tune in next week for the Christmas special and season 2. So that'll be 11 episodes you guys have to catch up on.
Oh, and by the way, Crunchyroll Expo schedule is live now, so they actually have a detailed schedule of actually what's going to be going on every day, so we can actually plan what's going to happen for now.
Good.
By the way, Kara Bugman's doing a voice acting lesson in Crunchyroll.
Is that a panel?
Yeah, she's going to be doing voice. She's going to be doing like tips for voice acting and everything.
Oh fuck. I for sure need to go to that one since the scripts for my audio dramas are finally being written. Because no one told me about freaking Google Docs. So I don't have to worry about paying $150 for Word.
Yeah, no, that's why I don't use Word at all anymore, because like my dad has a program here, but it's the outdated one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we use on the computer. But
if it's outdated, it's no good.
Exactly. So that's why I use Google Docs, because again, it's free with every Google account. You can access it from anywhere as long as you come as long as you log into your email and everything, and it's shareable across different accounts. So if you want somebody to edit it for you, they can edit it for you in real life,
Yeah.
in real time. I mean.
Yeah, and again, you're looking at a person who is planning on playing one of the Ninja Turtles, so I do need to make sure I have good, I do have good voice acting skills. So
I just want to attend the panel so I can make up for a more convincing trap.
what? What convincing trap?
Made Rui.
Oh.
No, I want to blow people's minds.